Hey guys, it's Austin back with another video today, and with this one we're going to be talking about the Game Awards. The 2020 show is tonight, and I wanted to talk to you guys about my predictions about what's going to happen with the show. I'm going to go over the games that I think will win, a couple of the more important awards, and then also I'm going to go into some game announcements that I think are going to happen, because that's why a lot of us watch it. So with that, let's get right into it. Starting off with Best Multiplayer Game, I think this one is going to go to Fall Guys. Fall Guys really took the world by storm, and it still has a presence with the season updates as of right now. I think it will be on people's minds, and I think it will win. I think Among Us has a real shot, but I think it is more likely to win Best Mobile Game, and I think that's where it might just stay. I think it has a real shot, though, here. I also think it's weird that Among Us isn't in the Best Ongoing Game since it did not come out this year, but that's not the point. Animal Crossing is another great game, but I think its multiplayer actually isn't that amazing, so I think it's better suited for Best Family Game and really contending in Game of the Year. And Call of Duty obviously is a very popular franchise, so Warzone easily has a shot here, but I think Fall Guys will be the one that takes it. Up next, we have Best Score in Music, and this is another great category with a lot of great nominees. I think Final Fantasy VII Remake will be the one that takes this one. I think it just has a lot of amazing music, as Final Fantasy games do, and I think it will really pull on the heartstrings of all those people that really love the original. I think this is an area where Ori and the Will of the Wisp could come out because it doesn't have a ton of nominations across the board, so this could be the one where if they want to give Ori something, a lot of people might vote for it here. Same with Doom Eternal. I think this is a spot where people that really like it wanted to win something, so this is where they'd put it on, but I think Final Fantasy VII Remake really has the heart of a lot of voters, and they don't want to give it Game of the Year, and this is where I think one of its strongest aspects is its music, so I think it will win this one. Next, we have Best Performance, and this one actually caught me off guard because my first thought was, oh, Ellie or Ashley Johnson will win from The Last of Us Part 2, and then I saw Abby was on there as well, and I think actually that those two might split the vote for the people that would want to vote for someone from The Last of Us Part 2 enough that Logan Cunningham will end up winning. He plays a lot of different roles in Hades, and I think because of that, and the game is so well loved and on people's minds right now, I think that voters will end up voting for him enough to beat out the other Last of Us Part 2 characters. I really like Jin Sakai and Miles Morales as voice actors as well, but I don't think they quite had the oomph. So I just think that it's going to wash out across the board, and Logan Cunningham will come out on top, which I think is well deserved when you play that many characters in a game that is this well beloved. For Best Art Direction, this is where my head and my heart actually line up. I think it will go to Ghost of Tsushima. Personally, I think it is the best looking game this year, with The Last of Us Part 2 and Final Fantasy VII being right there. But I just really love the way this game looks. I think its colors are amazing. The art direction in terms of what they decide to do with the shrines and everything, I just thought it was amazing across the board. The characters look really good, and I think this is one where Ghost of Tsushima isn't actually going to win a lot. It's nominated for quite a bit, but it's not going to win a lot, and I think this is a clear slam dunk for where Ghost of Tsushima can get an award, and I think the voters will vote for it here. For Best Game Direction, my first thought was, oh, Half-Life Alyx is here. This is where it will win an award, but I still don't think enough people played it for it to actually get enough votes to win. I think that actually for here, this is a very tight race. I think Final Fantasy VII is very likely to come out here as the winner, but I think Hades will be the winner. I think Hades is on people's minds right now because of its late release, and I think enough people have problems with the end of Final Fantasy VII that it will push Hades up into the limelight, and it will win this award. Hades just has the right mix of bringing people in for a genre that most people don't like. Being a roguelike where you have to restart multiple times, a lot of people do not like that. It frustrates them too much, and Hades has been able to bring people in that will say, I don't like this type of game, and they love it. And I think just because of that direction, Hades will end up being the one that comes out on top. For Best Narrative, I would be really surprised if Last of Us Part 2 does not win this one. I personally have a lot of problems with the narrative, especially at the end, but a lot of the critics don't, and the critics are the one that are voting on this. When it gets critical acclaim, most especially for its story, I don't see how it doesn't come and take this award. And even though I personally don't love Last of Us story, there are a lot of it that I really do like, and I think a lot of people will still tie the story of this game to the story of the original. And I would be extremely surprised if Last of Us Part 2 doesn't come out on top. And finally, for Game of the Year, I think it will be The Last of Us Part 2, but I think this actually is a very competitive category. I've talked about Hades quite a bit and some of the other categories about how it's fresh on people's minds, and I think it is the small game that a lot of people want to win, so they will vote for it. I also think Animal Crossing, with its attachment to the pandemic and how it's the most impactful game of this year, will resonate with a lot of voters, and they will vote for Animal Crossing as well. And then there are the people that love Final Fantasy VII, and it means a lot to their childhood playing the game, and seeing Final Fantasy Remake just made, they can't help themselves but to vote for it. But I think all three of those categories are too small, and Last of Us Part 2 has too many people that it is their favorite game of this year. They love the narrative, and I don't see how Last of Us Part 2 doesn't come out on top unless Animal Crossing and its impact on 2020 really pushes it over the top. So if I had to say right now, if Last of Us Part 2 is going to lose, I think Animal Crossing will be the one that unseats it. But I still think it's The Last of Us Part 2. And for this one, in the comments, let me know what you think is going to win Game of the Year. Because I think a lot of people don't want Last of Us Part 2 to win because of the problems they have with the story, me included. But I still think it's going to. I think the critics like it too much. But let me know what you think is going to happen down in the comments. And now, for what a lot of people are going to be watching the Game Awards for, is the announcements. And I'm going to have some predictions on each of the major three, Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, and also a couple third parties that I've been seeing a little bit about, and I have some predictions on them as well. So let's start with Sony, and I think that a lot of smoke is going around the Silent Hill rumor. It's supposed to have been announced a couple times now. Is it going to be here? I think there's a good chance that it's here, but I'm not 100% sure. I'd say this is probably right now a 6.5 out of 10 in terms of how confident I am that it will be here. I'd say it's more likely than not, but I would not bet any money on it, to say the least. But I think there's a good chance that it will be here, because I've been hearing that it should have been at other award ceremonies, or not other award ceremonies, other events, and it hasn't been there yet. So I think it may be here, but I'm also not super sure. Something I am pretty confident on is Ratchet & Clank will be here. I do believe it will be here, and I believe it will get a date because we're running out of time for it to be early next year, around the March-April time. We're running out of time for it to get a marketing campaign going, and I think it's what a lot of people are really excited about for the PS5 with the SSD and how it makes this game able to be made. So I think they need to start marketing this game, and I think the Game Awards is a great place for this game because a lot of people that aren't super huge on video games will be watching it, especially with all the guest celebrities. And I think Ratchet & Clank is a family-friendly game that anyone can love, so I think this would be a great place for it. A couple games that I think will not be here. 1, Horizon Forbidden West, and 2, God of War Ragnarok. I do not think either of those will be there because I think they are late 2021, if they still come in 2021, and I think they are going to ease off and do their own event for that. A game I do think is going to be here with a date is Gran Turismo. I think Gran Turismo it's about time for the next one to be officially shown, with an actual good gameplay trailer. I didn't really like the one at the PS5 event, so I think they'll come here with a date for Gran Turismo in early 2021. And finally, there's a lot of smoke around this one, Bluepoint making a Metal Gear Solid remake. I think there is almost no chance this is here. I would love to be wrong. I would love for this game to be here. I don't think it's going to be there. I think Bluepoint loves toying with people, and they love hinting and teasing. If you remember when they were leading up to the Demon's Souls announcement, they were teasing every which way what the game could be, and I was really hoping the game was going to be a Metal Gear Solid remake. It ended up being Demon's Souls, and I'm excited to play Demon's Souls still, but Metal Gear Solid remake would be a major announcement. I don't think it's going to be here. I think they are going to be teasing this game for a long time before they announce it, the same thing they did with Demon's Souls. So I would think that unless this game is coming in 2021 or early 2022, I don't think this game gets announced until at least 2022. Next up, we have Microsoft, and I actually think this is going to be a very quiet show for them, especially compared to what they did in last year's Game Awards, announcing the Series X, showing off Hellblade 2. I think they might have a couple cards up their sleeve, but I do not think it is going to be anything near what they did last year. I think they've shown a lot of what they have with their Series X events. that are coming in late 2021, 2022, possibly early 2023. I think they've shown all that, and I don't think those games are ready for any updates. So I think they are a little I think they're in a weird spot with they can't just keep putting out minor stuff on games that are coming, but they also don't want to show their hand on stuff that maybe isn't ready as well. So one thing that I do think will be here is the Initiative's new game that is rumored to be in the Perfect Dark universe. Maybe it's a new IP as well. I would be extremely excited to see this one. I think it would be a great game for them to put here and just draw up some excitement for the Series X. I feel like I feel like it doesn't have a lot of excitement right now, and it could really use some. So I think having a new IP or the new Perfect Dark game here would be great. I've been hearing a lot of smoke on Forza Horizon as well. Some people were saying they were going to buck their normal release trend and Forza Horizon 5 would be announced here. But then recently I've been hearing it actually will be DLC for 4. I wouldn't be surprised if it is DLC for 4, or maybe possibly Forza Motorsport. But if I had to guess, I think Forza Horizon 4 DLC will be here, and it will be not just like a small DLC, it will be like a really big DLC, and that's why they're announcing it here. One that I've been seeing a little buzz on is Hellblade 2 going to be here. I do not think it will be here again. I don't think it's ready for another big like showcase. I wish it was. I'm super excited to jump into that game, but I just don't think it's ready. So I don't think Hellblade 2 will be here. And then looking at something like Halo, it just got the announcement on Twitter like that it'll be a fall 2021 game. I think that's all they really wanted to show, and it won't be here as well. So looking at like the rest of Microsoft's properties and stuff, I don't see much that can really be here. So I think the Initiative's new game would be a good move for them, and then possibly a new Forza or Forza DLC. Nintendo in the past has had some very large announcements or showcases at the Game Awards, and I think this year they will have a presence as well. A lot of people are talking about Breath of the Wild 2. I don't think it will be here. I would love for it to be here, but I don't think it will be here because I think it will be late 2021, still possibly early 2022, and I don't think they're ready to show that hand just yet. What I do think will be here, if it is coming, is Age of Calamity DLC. I have not seen a lot of talk about this, but if any Age of Calamity DLC is coming, I think this would be the perfect place to announce it and get some hype going for Zelda's 35th anniversary next year. I think that's why a lot of people are thinking about Breath of the Wild 2. I just don't think Nintendo's quite ready to play that card, but I think Age of Calamity DLC would be perfect, lead you into next year's Zelda anniversary, and really start drumming up some more excitement for Breath of the Wild 2 without actually showing Breath of the Wild 2. Another one that I think will be here because of just the way the timetables and schedules are working is a new Smash character. It would make a lot of sense for it to be here. I'm not sure if it will be, but I think it would make a lot of sense that it would be because of just like a new character was supposed to come out by the end of this year. It hasn't, so announcing one here for early 2021 would make a lot of sense. A lot of rumors are going around that it will be a Fortnite character. I think that would upset a lot of people. It personally wouldn't bother me because I am not personally that invested in Smash. I like playing it, but the new character, no matter who it is, wouldn't upset me too much. I've also been seeing a little buzz that it might be an Age of Calamity character, maybe a young Impa. I'm not really sure what it would, if that would make a lot of sense, but I've been hearing a little buzz on that one, so I think that's one to keep an eye out for. Also, a new Mario game would make a lot of sense to me. I haven't been seeing much buzz on this one either, but it makes a lot of sense to me to cap off Mario's anniversary year to announce a new Mario game, whether that would be Mario Kart 9 or the new 3D platformer, a new 2D platformer. I think Mario's really due for a new 2D game since they just ported the Wii 1 to the Switch. I think if the Switch got its own 2D platformer, I think that would be great for the Switch. I don't necessarily think any of that will be here, but I think it would be great if Nintendo does have a new Mario game coming. This would be the perfect place for it because everyone knows Mario. It would have a lot of eyes on it, and people will say, I want to buy that game right when they see it. And then finally, I have Bayonetta 3 as a needs a date soon game. Will it be shown here? I don't know, but it really needs a date. And if it doesn't get one here, I would be very worried for the game going forward if you were a Bayonetta fan. Bayonetta 3 has felt like it's been in development for a long time, and if it doesn't get out of this, I would be nervous that the game possibly never comes out. And, as always, Nintendo is great partners with indies. I would not be surprised if there is an indie Switch exclusive that is shadow dropped the Game Awards. So it's announced, and right after the Game Awards, you can go buy it, or during the Game Awards, you can get on your Switch and buy this indie Switch exclusive. I have no idea what it would be, but I would not be surprised if something like that is here for Nintendo. Moving on to third parties, I feel like Capcom will be here, and I feel like they will have two big announcements. One, with the recent leaks and rumors, Ghosts and Goblins has been talked about, and I think it will be here, and it will be announced as an early 2021 Switch exclusive. Also, I think Resident Evil 8 Village would make a lot of sense here to get a release date, because it is coming on last gen and current gen, so I feel like it needs a date eventually. And getting one here would give a lot of eyes on it. A lot of people are nostalgic about Resident Evil, and just getting some buzz around it here would make a lot of sense for me. Looking at Square Enix, I feel like they are going to have some news about Final Fantasy VII Remake. Whether it is a PC port, possibly an Xbox version coming when the exclusivity is done, or a PS5 version. I'm not exactly sure what the announcement will be, but I think they will put Final Fantasy VII Remake here, since it's in the award show. They will have an announcement about how it's getting a souped up PC version or a PS5 version, or possibly moving to Xbox. One of those I think will be on the table. I don't think we'll hear much from them other than that, other than potentially some Avengers announcements. Maybe that's why Brie Larson is there. Brie Larson's going to announce that Captain Marvel is coming to Avengers in mid-2021. I think that's also a possibility as well, that they try to up some excitement, because if there's a lot of casual people, or that are people that are just watching it for the celebrities, if they announce Avengers there, or announce that DLC that's coming for Avengers, that might prompt more people to buy it. So I think there's a good chance Avengers is there as well. Finally, looking at Activision, I think there's a good chance that Spyro 4 is announced here, and would be a mid to late 2021 game. I'm not sure about this one. This is more of a personal one, where I really like some of those PS1, PS2 era platformers, and I would love for Spyro 4 to be here. This might be more of a want than like an actual likelihood thing, but I would love for it to be here. And then I'm not gonna put up a slide for this one, but I feel like just a sneaky one from EA would be Jedi Fallen Order 2 sneaking in here, since this is the award show that it's actually like eligible for. If they have Jedi Fallen Order 2 on the rise, I think there's a good chance that that one could sneak in as an announcement. But guys, these are just my opinions on the Game Awards, on who I think will win some awards and what announcements I think will be there. Let me know down in the comments if there's anything that you strongly agree with or strongly disagree with on my predictions. I really feel confident. I did a lot of work in looking into these, and I really feel confident about a lot of my predictions in terms of the winners of the awards and announcements that will be here. So yeah, let me know down in the comments if there's anything that you really want to be here as well. If there's a big announcement that you would love to be here, let me know that down in the comments. Or if you want to let me know on Twitter, you can let me know on Twitter at _OneGamersOpinion. I'm super excited to watch the Game Awards tonight. Until next time, guys, bye-bye.